Welcome back to Brick Built City and the second part of my development of Brickley Park. In this video I will show you what I've developed since the first part and also some things I'm considering to include into the park. And I'll also have to make some amendments to the back area, but I'll talk you through that. The first thing I have done since the first video was include this fountain and statue, and it's on just a tiled area here, which is actually raised slightly. And that is just so I think it will look better than actually fitting directly onto the plate itself. And actually, it kind of goes in line, but I think it should go in line with the entrance, which should be down the far end there. But it's also had to have enough room to kind of go around. So the path will come here. It has to be like enough of good width to go around and off to here, but also come round to this side here. So I didn't want to narrow this too much. On the first attempt it was like a bit more here and here, so I've pushed it back slightly onto there. And if I put this back in place, I actually wanted the statue to face the entrance so that when figures come in there, they can see it rather than the statue actually facing this way here towards the camera, because there's also going to be a tree right there, so it will look a bit odd if the statue is actually facing the tree, but you'll see that later on when the more detail goes in. But that's the first detail part that went in. I've also added trees to the front here of what will be the entrance. I think that is what will stay there, and I've got some ideas for some pattern for the entrance part here. I don't have the right color for some of the pieces, but I'll make do with either other colors or leave them blank until I fill in. The cafe here looks good, but I realized that in order to fit in the flower mural at the back, the lamppost won't stay there. I need to actually add another stud to make room for that, so that the flower mural can fit at the back here of the cafe. So it does mean that I think I'm going to have to move this one stud forward. Plus I'll have to consider how I fit the little seating area in outside. It may be okay being there, but it does kind of clog up space around the entrance. Then it might be alright there, because I can't put it on this side, because again it sticks out too much for you to see where that is. If it comes out here, it just takes up a lot of the path. So I'm going to see if I can get it to stay there. The first job is to try and move this one in a moment anyway. But this here is looking pretty good. Nothing's really changed around it, apart from getting the trees into that space. I've managed to move the cafe, which was a lot easier to put in place than the last time when I initially installed it here. So there is just another stud space there to go in. And if I show you what I mean about the flower mural, so that should go in there, sort of, that way there's enough room that it will just stick to the wall by a stud at the back. but obviously this part will come out here. I'm showing you the MOC, which is only half of it, because actually it's fitted on two of these 32 by 32 with a half a base plate as well. It's connected by pins, but because of some of the stuff I'll show you on this side, it's easier just to show you the half of it. So this part is, but I need to stick some more bits down. This is what it looks like from this side. So I put a bit of tiling onto the path outside the cafe. This bit here, with the seating area I mentioned, it does fit better, so I just put it onto a tile which is underneath with a stud, and that fits nice and easily there. And yeah, so that looks really nice so far. And I will put in pattern tile for the entrance and just see what that's like. So after a bit of work on the tiling for the entrance, I can present what it looks like. This is a bit of a precursor to the design I'm going to go with for the path, and that was a bit of trial and error. But I've mainly done it like this because of the color of these tiles that I had in that color there, and I just thought it looked like an interesting pattern to put at the entrance for the park, and then it just sort of bleeds into the pavement for that's next to the entrance going into the park, which is also out the front as well. And here there's like 3 different ways to go. There's obviously coming into the park and moving on. There's also what I thought was the entrance coming into these gardens, and also the entrance to the cafe. So I was thinking there might have to be some sort of differentiation between something that goes into there, something that goes there, and something that goes this way. So we have that for the entrance and the exit going out of the park. What may be good here is in this section is to possibly put more seating outside the cafe here and fence off this bit here so that the path is very defined going here. But what I'm trying to do with the park is actually have as much green as possible so it's open and doesn't feel really condensed, but we'll see how that goes. Here are some of the mock-ups I did for what the path could look like, and the reason I was testing out different things is because just using grey tiles for the path just felt really, really boring. And so I was just trying out different things here to see what would actually look more interesting. And so there's ones which are, well, I should probably say it was 6 wide is what I'm thinking would look good in the park. It's not too like big and it's not too small either. So here we do have some tiling around the center with just some round studs on the sides with round tiles, 1x1 tiles there. You have this one which is very much tiled, but in different colors and in different kind of orientations or different. It's stagnated. It's not just all lined up the same. This one down here is sort of a variation of that one, where it's got this nut brick in the middle as using more studs on the side, and then that would work because you can put figures on it. And there's another one which is a little bit more developed or detailed with lots of different styles of pieces used just to show that the path is worn. And here's another version of that last one which shows a lot more variation in colors as well. And ultimately, that's the one I've decided to go with. And it will be a challenge to put that throughout the park on all the paths just because of the pieces I actually have. So it might just be that I have to wait longer to get more of the right pieces, or I try and use lots of different colors and see how that works out. So here we go. The path is in. And I think that looks really, really good. I found as many 1x1 pieces that I could, or even 2x1 pieces, or 2x2s. And I just got creative, similar to what I just showed you a moment ago. Yeah, I just took my time, went through each part, made it look as diverse as possible going through. That's what the entrance now looks like, with some different colored tiles. But I think that looks really, really good. That's probably as better as I ever thought it would be, to be honest. Yeah, but I'm really pleased with that. Really, really pleased with that. Let's see if I can fill in this little corner with something. So the flower shop fits perfectly into this corner just by having plates underneath with a 2x2 plate with a stud. It just goes nice and easily, easier than I'm making it, into this corner. And I did have to move this bench over. It was a bit further over here earlier on when I was making the path, but then I had to factor in the fact that I was going to put this in here. So I had to try and make this work, and I didn't really want this to go anywhere else because, well, where can it go? It could go there, but this part here, trying to keep as green as possible because there's going to be the flower mural right there. And so, yeah, I want to keep it there for the moment. Let's see what happens, but that's a good little place for that to go. It goes right up against where there will be a wall around this edge. I'm thinking there could be a sort of gateway wall gap thing there, whatever you call it. I will figure that out and come back to show you what's next. But I think that's been a good little video too for the progress of the park, and I'll see you soon for the next one.